Okay. Next latest subscriber is Moon Essence, and she has a I think she has a MySpace page, one of those, or maybe Facebook. And I was just curious because she says she's into anime and goth and all that stuff, and she's quite a bit younger than me, Citizenkong. I'm an old dude, but yeah, I was kind of curious just what was going on. I think it's kind of interesting about her that she's sort of into this goth, sort of paranormal kind of stuff, and I guess she's on Zanga.com. I've never been there. Somebody else, Anti-Pelagian, said like, "Hey, come debate me on Zanga." I said, "No, I don't even know that place. I'm not going there." That's before we officially met when he joined YouTube. But anyway, I guess she lives like in the Midwest somewhere, which seems kind of like, if you're in the Midwest in some small town and you're like the dark kind of, anime fan, goth, it must be interesting. Everybody must know you. Hey, there goes that goth kid. My friend, my conservative friend that moved to Montana, that was one of the reasons I moved to a small town of Montana, because I don't want my kids subjected to that kind of stuff. Turns out, man, kids in small towns have the highest alcohol and methamphetamine rate compared to city kids, and gun violence too, per capita. So go figure, the myth of the small town. Maybe it's because the whole country's going down the tubes. I don't know. But anyway, welcome aboard, Moon Essence 1. And here's my last new subscriber, Sufi, P-Z-U-F-F-I. And I remember Proud American 8 asked me to subscribe to him. And he's a little kid. And a lot of manic energy and doing different stuff. And I think he's Proud American 8's nephew or some relationship. I can see a family resemblance. Same crazy shaped head and hair. No, just kidding. You have a normal shaped head, man. But it's both like a short cropped hair and, kind of the sort of energy level seems similar. I see a family resemblance, okay? So anyway, hey, Sufi, thanks for subscribing to me. I'll tune in and watch more videos of you smashing cars real soon, okay? Not real cars, toy cars. Here, this is me smashing my toy car. Crazy. All right. Okay, so that's that. And so I will raise my glass and thank the new subscribers. Cheers. Thank you, new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to me. And cheers to those that I subscribe to and those videos that I follow and watch. Cheers to Old Frank and Angry Dummy and Leon and the rest of the Network of Evil and Doc Rusty and the rest. I'm sorry if I have some interaction with Trisha Kitty and Ire. I can't remember the number. I'm bad with numbers. Ire, some numbers, 3-digit number. And I have a little interaction with them, but mostly with so far, with Leon and Old Frank and Doc Rusty. All right, cheers. And cheers to my political friends. Now that I'm done with this, I'm going to try to start posting a political commentary during the middle of the week, or at least on Saturdays, besides Fez Night. So far, all I've been doing is Fez Night. Yummy. I saw a story today. Leon reminded me of that meteor in Peru that went down that was making people sick. I'll be really curious if they ever get to the bottom of that. Because I remember for a while in the news, in the city, San Diego or other big cities, you would hear like these stories like office building evacuated, mysterious odor, and people are like having to go to the hospital and stuff, and they show them out on the stretchers, and then you never hear anything else about it. They never get down to the bottom of it. What is it, a conspiracy? Are they experimenting on us? What's the deal? And now this meteor goes down in the middle of nowhere. Makes you think. I mean, for the first time, do you think a meteor could have carried some poison in with it? Or did it react with something in the ground that's releasing poisonous gases? I don't know. Will we ever find out? I don't know. But Leon mentioned that to me. He says a lot of weird things happening this week. Here's to Al Gore winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Actually, he's sharing it with a group of scientists that part of the UN. I think I got that right. I think they're a group of scientists that are that have ties with the UN, and for their work in letting the world know about global warming. And naturally, it helped them a lot having Al Gore, international, former vice president who should have been president of the United States, but the Republicans cheated. And the joke was that the Supreme Court ruled that George Bush really gets the Nobel Peace Prize. Those bastards. Someday the world will know. Even your most radical right-winger is going to have to be like the same as admit Nixon was a crook, okay? It's going to happen. Someday all this stuff will come to light, and us on the left, or left of center, or liberal, or progressives as you want to call us, we'll have another Nixon type to kick around, because stuff is going to come to light. New stuff comes to light all the time about what a bastard Cheney is, what an idiot Bush is, and how crooked they are. So here's to you, Al Gore. And I'm still frustrated with, so what else is it going to take? The Nobel Prizes, Peace Prize, was first started by the guy that invented dynamite, that invented TNT. And he thought, oh, I brought this awful thing into the world. I'm going to do something, philanthropy, to compensate for that. So there was the Peace Prize and the Nobel Science Prizes, etc. And so, sure, there's some scumbags that got a Peace Prize in the past because, they were like scumbags that they did something towards peace, so they had to get a nod, okay? There's politics involved, of course. But Michael Savage, Dr. Wiener, still goes on and says, oh, this global warming, man, having some effect on global warming is nonsense. Is that the scientific community, because I read the right book, says Michael Savage, the scientific community is 50-50 divided on whether man is affecting global warming. Nonsense! Nonsense! How, if the scientific community was divided 50-50, how in the hell is Al Gore going to get a Nobel Peace Prize, okay? Nobel started from the sciences, all right? I'm not an expert on it, but geez, it carries some weight. Nobody's saying 50-50 the scientific community. That's why I don't know how anybody pays attention to Michael Savage. The guy just spouts lies. And if we had a fairness doctrine, there would be an ombudsman that would cover this and call him on it. Do some fact checking. You just can't go around saying stuff and call it free speech. Say stuff that's lies. Okay? Because there's too many fools out there that believe you.